Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Bogota Board of Education regular meeting for Tuesday, December 17, 2024. I read this first. I'll go here first. Yeah, the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Bogota Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Bogota Borough Hall, communicated by letter to the record, filed with the clerk of the Borough of Bogota, and posted on the Bogota Board of Education website. One. Oh, you do it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah. Okay. Roll call. Mr. Edsel.
Sure. Ms. Alcalde,
Here.
Ms. Alvarez,
Present.
Mr. Alvarez,
Present.
Mr. Chavez, absent, Mrs. Cruz,
Present.
Mr. Navarro,
Present.
Mrs. Olivo, absent, Ms. Brackett,
Present.
Mr. Miranda, absent. We have the quorum.
Yes, also present is Board Superintendent Damian Kennedy, Attorney Mr. Ed Hoban, Board Secretary Mr. Edsel, and Board Assistant Secretary Ms. Ruiz. Tonight, we also have our student representative, Ms. Morales. Can I get a motion to for opening hearing of citizens on agenda items only?
Alvarez.
Second.
That's Alvarez and Alcalde. We invite the public to,
All in favor.
Aye.
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 and all those opposed. At this portion of the meeting, we invite the public to have comments of no more than 5 minutes. State your name. No longer address. State your name for the record. Nobody online? Motion to close hearing of citizens on agenda items only.
Alvarez.
Second.
Mr. Kennedy, would you mind sharing the superintendent's report?
Sure.
First up, our student rep, Joanna Morales, please.
I would like to take a moment to share several important updates from Bogota High School. First, I am pleased to announce that last week we held the National Honor Society induction ceremony, where 14 new students were formally inducted into this prestigious organization. Additionally, Mr. Padron and Ms. Carr recently chaperoned a visit to El Museo del Barrio, the nation's oldest museum dedicated to Latino art with a particular focus on works from Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican community in New York City. This trip provided our students with an invaluable cultural experience. Our school's band and chorus also recently performed at the winter concert, showcasing their musical talents. Furthermore, the jazz band had the honor of performing on Veterans Day at the Bogota BFW, paying tribute to our veterans. In athletics, I am proud to report that both our boys and girls cross-country teams achieved the highest grade point averages in their conference with respective GPAs of 4.35 and 4.57. We also celebrate the achievements of two of our 8th grade students, Angela Dye and Alexander Ferreira Lopez, who received recognition for their submissions to the Patriots Pen Essay Competition. Angela earned 3rd place along with a certificate and a monetary prize, while Alexander secured 1st place, advancing his essay to the statewide level of competition. As we approach the end of the semester, our senior class is diligently preparing for the annual holiday show, which will take place this Friday. We look forward to seeing their hard work on stage. Lastly, one of our sophomores, Isaac Crespos, has initiated a proposal to the Uniform Committee advocating for the inclusion of spirit wear as an option for students to wear year-round in addition to the assigned polo shirts. Thank you for your attention, and that's all.
Thank you very much. Next, we have one confirmed HIB case in the high school. Our next meeting will be January 7th at 7 p.m. That will be our reorg meeting. Again, that will be Tuesday, January 7th at 7 p.m. Holiday shows at the elementary schools are this week, Thursday at Bixby at 9 a.m. and at Steen on Friday at 9 a.m. We opened up our 10th preschool classroom in Trinity earlier this month. This classroom helps meet our universal number. So when we got the grant, we have to hit a universal number. That was 10 classrooms. So with opening up this classrooms, we have fulfilled our requirement of providing free pre-K to all Bogota students. So kudos to our preschool team and great job by them. And we look forward to continuing that program. And then finally, happy holidays to all. We will end the school year for 2024 on Friday with a single session, and we will return back to school on January 2nd. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. I'd like to move on to section 4.3, approval of agenda items 4.1 and 4.2 related to minutes. Please call the roll.
Any motion?
Oh, I'm sorry, motion.
Motion Cruz.
Second,
I'll second.
Roll call, Ms. Alcalde,
I have to abstain. I wasn't present for the November 12th.
Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
I wasn't present for the November 19th, so I have to abstain as well.
Mrs. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Ms. Rocket. 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4 out of 6. 4 out of 6. I guess motion carried, right?
Yeah,
Motion carried.
yeah, we could, I mean, if we had to handle them differently, people can't, we can handle them separately, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that would add one vote to each, but that's fine.
I would also encourage when we are not present for a meeting that we go online and pull those meeting minutes so that you can familiarize yourself with those minutes and then be able to vote on them, even though you weren't physically present. And there is a YouTube video of every meeting. Feel free to familiarize yourself with the minutes and what took place during the meeting so that you feel comfortable approving those minutes. Moving on, we have nothing in policy tonight. In education, I'd like a motion to move forward 6.9, which covers items 6.1 through 6.8.
Motion Cruz.
Second.
Griffin,
Any discussion? Ms. Alcalde,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
Yes.
Ms. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Ms. Rocket.
yes,
Motion carried.
thank you. Moving on to personnel section. I'd like a motion to move forward 7.5, which is approval of agenda items 7.1 through 7.4.
Motion.
Yep.
Mr. Navarro, thank you. Second? Ms. Alvarez, thank you. Any discussion? Griffin?
Ms. Alcalde,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
I believe I have to abstain from 7.3, but otherwise, yes, to the others.
7.3.
Yes.
Mrs. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Ms. Rocket.
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you. Moving forward to section 8, which is finance. I'd like a motion to move forward 8.9, which would be approval of agenda items 8.1 through 8.8 related to finance.
Alvarez?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Griffin?
Sure. Ms. Alcalde,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mrs. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Ms. Rocket.
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you. Moving forward to section 9, which is related to buildings and grounds. I would like to ask for a motion to move forward 9.6, which would be approval of agenda items 9.1 through 9.5.
I'll call it.
Alvarez,
Any discussion? Perfect.
Ms. Alcalde,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
yes.
Mrs. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Mrs. Reckett,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. I'd like to call attention to the addendum for tonight, December 2024, related to personnel. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve 10.1 and 10.2, which would be 10.3.
Motion Cruz? Second.
That's a second, Navarro?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Any discussion? Perfect.
Ms. Alcalde,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mrs. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Ms. Reckett,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. We are moving on, which would have been 10, but it is now 11, to committee reports. Are there any committee reports tonight? You guys are a chatty bunch. Okay, moving on to 12. Any new business? Goodness, can't keep you guys quiet. Okay. Moving on to hearing of the public. During this portion of the meeting, residents are invited to address the board with any questions, comments, or concerns that they may have with respect to the operation of their schools. May I have a motion to open the floor to hearing of citizens?
Motion.
Ms. Alvarez, may I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Alcalde, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The floor is now open to hearing of citizens' remarks. You will have 5 minutes. Please state your name ahead of your remark. May I have a motion to close hearing of the public on any topic?
Alvarez,
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Thank you. Tonight, we do have an executive session. So I need a motion to go into executive session before I read this. Okay. Okay. Whereas C 231 PL 1975, also known as the Sunshine Law, authorizes a public body to meet in executive or private session under certain limited circumstances. And whereas said law requires the board to adopt a resolution at a public meeting before it can meet in such an executive or private session. Now therefore be it resolved by the Bogota Board of Education that it does hereby determine that it is necessary to meet in executive session on December 17, 2024 at 6:13 p.m. to discuss matters involving litigation or personnel, that the matter discussed will be made public when confidentiality is no longer required, and the action pursuant to said discussion shall take place only at a public meeting. Can I have a motion to move into executive session?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Alvarez,
Thank you. We should return in,
Yeah, so I don't think this is gonna take long. We have 2 matters for advice of counsel, and we are gonna take action when we come out on 1 item. And I don't expect to be more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. So let's plan on 10 for anybody in the public that wants to tune back in. Okay?
thank you.
Like a little.
Too.
But you know, it's for the year in Miami.
It's
The
no
day I was in
Miami.
January, like, yeah, my mom participated.
Wow.
But then the difference is. I was probably. Bringing snow to Miami.
Their
Motion to
coldness lasts
resume
like a
regular
day.
meeting.
Yeah, a day.
Motion.
Maybe a week.
Cruz?
Motion to resume regular meeting, motion Cruz, second Navarro. Thank you both. Okay. We are out of executive session and we have, we have discussion from our attorney.
Oh, okay, so what we need is a resolution upon the recommendation of the superintendent, authorizing a committee to be formed to hear student residency appeals. Okay, and then what'll happen is if the board approves that, then the board president will designate the committee afterwards, and as he does normal committees. Okay? So-
Motion to approve the creation of a committee for residency concerns.
Motion.
Second,
Alvarez?
that is Navarro and Alvarez. Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Alcalde,
Yes.
Mrs. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mr. Alvarez,
Yes.
Mrs. Cruz,
Yes.
Mr. Navarro,
Yes.
Ms. Bucket.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Okay, guess what, guys? I need a motion to adjourn this really lengthy chatty meeting.
Motion Cruz. Second.
That's Alcalde and Navarro. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good night. Happy holidays to you
Yes.
all.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yes.
Holiday.